all that out, and you just become one with yourself. Oh, Steve, I would love to have this position one day. I just don't know how that would even happen. Do you know, Steve? Big, strong men are our friends. So another thing that I would highly, highly, highly recommend is not giving it ass. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Samantha, and this is State of Elevate, where we talk about all things life elevation. If that's something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe so you can be notified when videos just like this come out. In today's video, we're talking about igniting your feminine energy. Your feminine energy journey is going to be one of the most important journeys that you can do in your life. It is transformative. It is like what is going to draw into your life. What people, places, and things are going to magnify to you based off of your feminine journey. Your feminine journey will transform your life. It is that powerful. This is not for the weak of heart. So if you are not for real, if you just for play, you might not want to watch this video. You might want to click off. But if you're serious about this journey, you will want to watch this video all the way through.
You mean bread and butterflies?
Oh, yes, of course.
Before we can start this femininity journey where we're becoming one with ourselves, we have to realize it starts with self. This is where our journey is going to begin, with thine self. So, the first thing that you need to do is really get to know yourself. Really take what I like to call me time. And that basically means doing things to help you get familiar with yourself, to help you become one, to relax, to have time to really concentrate on what you think, what you feel, your emotions, your insight, your intuition. We need to help bring that out of us, right? So the first thing we need to do is map out what is me time for you, okay? We have to get to know ourselves again. We have to realize, who are we? When we were kids, we were really tapped in to ourselves. We had a full awareness, and that's why we could play, we could be free. We had no worry about what other people thought. We were just ourselves. We would ask weird, crazy questions, and it would be cool because, oh, that's just Sarah. She just asks crazy questions. Oh, Sarah's just outgoing. She's very gregarious. Oh, Johnny's just very rambunctious. Over time, we lose that. Okay, over time, we start worrying about what people think. We start, monitoring what we say. We start becoming a different person other than ourselves. We lose ourselves. So the first thing we need to do with our level up journey is become one with ourselves. And so what I would recommend is there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You don't have to use all of these, but I would use 1 or 2 or 3 of these to really hone in to getting back to yourself and who you are. And it's really working with the mind and the body. So what you can do is start taking baths if you don't already. So generally a lot of us will hop in the shower, we'll clean off, and then we'll hop out the shower and go on about our day. But when you take a bath, and when you luxuriate in a bath, and you're sitting back, and you're luxuriating, and you're really getting to know yourself, you're starting to think, well, what happened today? And you're taking me time. You're really taking the time to self-develop. You're thinking about your day, you're thinking about your body, you're able to look at your body, and you're becoming at one with self. That helps with your mental, physical being. It helps you, it's almost like a kind of a low-level meditation where you're able to meditate. You're able to sit back and relax. You're able to enjoy the time you're having with yourself. You're not worried about what the Tom, Dicks, and the Harrys are thinking or doing. You're not keeping your mind busy with screens and phones. It's just you, yourself, and I in the tub. Another thing that you could do is meditation. Good old meditation. So meditating helps you, as we all know, it really helps clear out that blockage. It helps clear out all the junk, all the things that are being bombarded, the news, the media, the people, the haters, the co-workers, the boss, all the things you have to do in life, your sadnesses, your worries, your fears. It clears all that out. And you just become one with yourself. It helps yourself to clear and open up new passages. So what you're doing is you're all this so you can open up room for your intuition. And your intuition is very powerful. A lot of times we're not tapped into our body. We're not tapped into ourselves. Especially in relationships, a lot of times we tell ourselves like, something's not right. I have a bad feeling about him. And we keep doing it anyway. We don't pay no attention to ourselves. We just keep doing it. And until you take the time to have that me time, to really have self-development, you will not get a keen intuition. And that's what we need. So we need that intuition. It's going to serve us well throughout our lives, with our level up journey, with our relationships, with our businesses, and with our careers. So that intuition is key. Another thing that you can do is journaling. Now, journaling is what really will help you tap into all of this and really help you tap into yourself. Because when you're journaling, what you're doing is you're writing down your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions for the day. And you might not be saying, my emotions are, but what you're gonna write about your day, and what you're gonna realize when you look back, you're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna help you have clarification on why you do the things you do, why you think the way you think. It's going to help you with really being tapped in to yourself. You're going to be like, oh, now I see why I'm angry all the time. Because these people trying me. Look, Sarah tried me, Rebecca's tried me, Tyrone has tried me. Now I get it. But now I can figure out solutions for when people try me. It's going to help you with the overview of your life, building your self-awareness, building that self-confidence, building your wherewithal, where you start to realize patterns. That's key. When we can start realizing our patterns, this will help us to develop strengths. So like, for example, if you notice, you always overeat after an argument. So when you're looking back and you're like, oh, I had an argument and then I binged. Oh, this is when I binged. I'm triggered by this. Oh, it helps us realize our patterns to help circumvent the pattern. So another thing you could do is working out. So working out is great for the mental and your physical combining together. So when we're getting back to our femininity, it's the mental and the physical that has to kind of work incongruent. So you want to do something that's going to combine the two, where you're thinking and you're using your body all at once, because that will really help you be more in tune with yourself. And especially when you're talking about your femininity, because it's going to help you move different, right? When you work out, you're stimulating different muscles. You're opening up different channels in your body that you're like, oh, I didn't even know that muscle was there. I didn't even know that was there. You're stretching, you're elongating, you're able to move different. You have a different stride, you have a different walk, you have a different confidence. All from working out, all from using your mind-body connection. So you definitely want to incorporate that with your me time and in getting to know thine self. Now you don't have to do all of these, but pick maybe one, maybe two, whichever one you're comfortable with, and I would start there. Whatever out of the list works best for you and your schedule, that's what I would honestly recommend you doing, because you're gonna stick with it if you like it, if it's something that you're comfortable with doing. So another thing that I would highly, highly, highly recommend is not giving an F. Might be a little controversial, I know, but ladies, you have to stop giving an F. You have to get over worrying about what other people think about you. Like literally, today is the day you have to say no more. I don't care what cousin Bubba down the street thinks about me. I don't care what my coworker thinks about me. I could care less. If they're not paying a bill, okay, let me do a disclaimer. Now, if they're paying your bills, you might need to care. But if they're not paying a bill, why do you care? I could care less what people think about me that are not impacting my life. Now, I would love for everyone in the world to think highly of me. I would love for everyone to love me and think the best. But in all honesty, I could care less if you think great things about me or bad things. It's not going to affect my life in any way, shape, or form. Now, if it's the boss and you're trying to get a promotion, you obviously want to care what they think about you, right? So you have to use this in context. But we're talking about people that are not going to affect your life in any way, shape, or form. Family members, they're not going to impact your life. I mean, you're worried about who they think you're dating. Who cares who your cousin thinks you're dating or you should date or shouldn't date? How's that going to impact your life? Because they're going to go on and date who they want to date and live their best life. And you're over here not dating who they don't want you to date, and you're living a miserable life, all because you're worried about what other people think. And oh, I can't date him because he's dark skinned or light skinned, he's too tall, or he's too short, or he's white, or he's Spanish. Who Who cares what other people think? If you're happy, do not worry about what anyone else thinks. If you want to start a business and you're like, man, they're going to tell me no, I shouldn't do it. Who cares what they think? Literally, it's your life. You have one life and you have one time to be the age you are right now. This is it. You're only going to get older. So now is the time to live your best life and not worry about what anybody thinks. Just stop giving it up. That's all you had. It's really pretty simple. Now is your time to be unbothered and busy. Just be unbothered. You don't care if they like the fact you losing weight, gaining weight. You don't care if they like who you're dating, if they don't like who you're dating. You don't care if you just came out and they like that you just came out, or you don't like that they came out. You have to live your best life. So starting today, just become unbothered. Wish everyone the best. You love everyone, you wish them the best, but just be unbothered. It's your life, and this is what makes you happy. So next up, I would suggest to let people help you. Maybe this is easy for some, and it's probably not so easy for others. I was in that category where it was not easy for me to let people help me. I remember having a coworker, and little backstory. We worked out of our corporate office. I mean, we worked on location, not in our corporate office. But we would go once a week or every other week to our corporate office to get supplies. Like we would get reams of paper, we would get pens, we would get folders, whatever we needed. So every time we went to the corporate office, she would have to get some type of supplies, obviously, understandable, but it would be like a ream of paper. And she would be like this. She'd be like, I need a big, strong man. I need help. Who can help me with this paper? Or it's like a stack of, papers or cards or some pens. Who can help me with this? I just can't lift it. I need help. I mean, who can do it? I need a big, strong man. So I call this strategy the big, strong man. Shout out to my coworker, because she knew what she was doing. I used to look at her like, girl. Now, let me say, she probably was around the size of maybe Lonnie Love or maybe Oprah. So she was a very fluffy girl. She's a cute, fluffy girl. And so she was running around here talking about, I need a big, strong man. Knowing good and well, she was capable of lifting up a ream of paper, right? But what she was doing was smart. She was using her femininity. She was drawing men in by acting like kind of the damsel in distress, like, I just need help. Who can help me? Who can help me? I need some help. That's exactly how she would play it too. And she literally would say, I need a big, strong man. No joke. I couldn't make this up. So she played the damsel in distress. I was like, thank you so much. I just appreciate your help. And what would happen is the gentleman, and generally he was in our corporate office. So the corporate office was full of CEOs, the owners of the company. There was a lot of big wigs in the corporate office. And so one of them would come and help her, and they would have to walk her to the car, to put the supplies in her car. And by supplies, I mean like one sheet of paper. And so they'd have to walk her. And as they're walking, she's talking with them. She's butting up with them. She's getting very familiar with them. Like, oh, Steven. Oh, Steve, yes. Oh, you're so cute. I love it. Love it. So she's doing all this, right? She's doing the whole show. She's putting it on. She's getting her foot in the door. She's doing exactly what she should be doing. This is Femininity 101. So ladies, what I realized from her, she was a great teacher in femininity, because I realized it doesn't matter how big you are, how small you are, how manly you are, how masculine you are. At the end of the day, you can turn on your femininity like a light switch, right? Just by, I need help. That automatically, it drops men's guard, right? And they turn into like superheroes, like do-do-do-do, I'm to the rescue. And then it makes them, like, their chest is all pumped out. They feel good about themselves. I'm like, I just helped a girl to her car, So they benefit because they feel manly and masculine. They're going home like, I'm the man of the day. And then, of course, she didn't have to get her hands dirty. She could be her feminine self and just, thank you, Steve. Oh, yes. And then she was able to hobnob and get to know Steve a little bit better, and then implant her motives into Steve, like, oh, Steve, I would love to have this position one day. One day I would love to be in the corporate office with you. I just don't know how that would even happen. Do you know, Steve? So my point is, ladies, need a big, strong man. Big, strong men are our friends. And when I say that, I don't mean literally. I just mean that get help from someone. Like, I used to move, when I moved from apartment to apartment, and I would never call family, friends, anyone ask them for help. I just would say, they're probably busy. I know people don't like to help people move, so I'll just do it myself. No more. So now I'm like, I'm moving, who all can help? Because I can't do it. I'm an innocent little girl, I can't do it. Men all the time are like, hey, do you need help with that? Do you need help with that? And I used to be like, no, get out my face, no. Now I'm like, I sure do. Do you need help cleaning out your car? Do you need help picking weeds in your yard? Yup, I need help. I can't. These nails, I just can't do it. How could I ever? Incorporate the big, strong man strategy in your life. And that's with everyone, with family, with friends, with coworkers, everyone. Implement that, because that automatically makes you more feminine. It makes you feel more feminine because you have someone that's coming to your rescue, right? They're coming to your rescue, they're helping you out, they're treating you like the woman that you are, and you're able to then rest in your femininity. And that's very important, not just for our mental, but it's also important for our internal. So our hormones work off of how much we're working. So if you're a work mule and you're working and you're doing the 9 to 5 and then you're coming home and you're, lifting groceries on your back and then you're washing the car in the evening and pumping your own gas and you're doing all this stuff, then your testosterone is taking over. Your testosterone is raising in your body, and that's the male hormone. We all have testosterone, men and women, but women have it at a much lower rate than men. What happens is when you take on all these tasks, you're raising your testosterone, which is not a good thing. You need to keep the testosterone low. So you want to stay away from that and just rest in your femininity. Rest in it. Utilize the big, strong man. If a man comes up to you and offers your help and he's not weird or creepy, accept it. If a coworker is like, hey, do you need help to your car? Yeah, I do. Thank you, Steve. Steven. Yes. So start accepting the help. Now, for most, that's probably not a problem. But if it is a problem for you and you have not been resting in your femininity, then you want to start today. Accept the help from everybody. Another thing you could do to ignite your femininity would be to wear sexy undergarments. There is something about wearing sexy clothes, and especially clothes that other people can't see, because a lot of times we can't dress sexy, like if it's the winter and we have to wear the big woolly coats and we have to wear the sweaters, then you can't dress sexy. But you can have on the sexy undergarments, You might be at work and you have a uniform at work, so you can't dress sexy, but you can have sexy undergarments. And what it does, it's something with our psyche. When our skin touches the lace and the satin and the pearls, when you're wearing the thong and you move and you're like, oh, you can kind of feel the thong and like, ooh, okay, oh. So it's something in our psyche that's like, oh, okay, I've got on that garter underneath this and nobody knows. I've got on, pantyhose, like, the old school pantyhose. Like, I've got on the old school pantyhose and nobody knows. It's rubbing up against my skin and it feels so good, right? And it's like a little secret between you and yourself. That gets you tapped and toned into your femininity because you're like, ooh, it's soft, it's silky, it's girly, it's lacy, it's a little seductive. Oh yes, that heightens your feminine journey. It heightens what you think mentally. It helps your mental to get you into that feminine vibe. And that's kind of why when people transition, so let's say if it's a woman transitioning to be a man, or vice versa, a man transitioning to be a woman, the first thing they do is their clothes. Our clothes puts us into the mode. It transforms us before we even get transformed here or physically. Before we get transformed physically, by just wearing the outfit, we automatically mentally are transformed into that person, into that being. So you really want to implement wearing these sexy undergarments. Now, clothes are another thing that you need to incorporate. That's a whole other video because it's so much that's going to be involved in that we'd have to do another video because it's so important. It's going to be one of the major keys, but these factors that we're talking about today is more so for your mental, because once your mental is stimulated, tapped in, toned in, then your physical is just an added bonus. It's just what's going to catapult your leveling up, your femininity journey. So that's what I have for you today. Definitely hit that subscribe button because I want you to watch the video on our clothing and what we can wear to become feminine. I have some suggestions that I've not heard before, so I want you to definitely stay tuned for that. That one's gonna be a good one. And also my website is going to be launching very soon. And on the website, I'm gonna have a ton of freebies, all kind of different level up and feminine journey tactics, free tools you can use like calendars and like scheduling to help you schedule out the order in which you need to start your level up journey, especially when it comes to your physicality. So all that will be on my website. It should be launched here soon. And I have a course I'm gonna do on seduction. I have a course that I'm going to start as well on seduction, so I'm a busy lady. I'm trying to get all this out as soon as possible so that way women, we can really level up. I feel like this is our year to take the reins and turn into the best selves that we can turn into, to be the best feminine beings that we can be. If you have any comments or questions, definitely leave it down below. And until next time, I'll see you beautiful people later.